We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Chop Robinson, Miami Dolphins rookie edge defender. 44 off the edge. Another really good game from him. One of the lone bright spots, I think, in this game. The whole defense actually did end up playing a pretty good game. Definitely one of their better ones of the season. Definitely, you can look at them as a bright spot. But Chop is one that I'm going to really be keeping a close eye on to close out the season. You know, with how it's played out, playoffs are looking very, very, very unlikely. So you're just like, I really want to see the rookie developments of these players. And Chop has just been a treat for weeks now, really. Since week 11, he's leading the league in pressure rate. And he had 2 sacks in this game. Did a great job creating some disruption again and again and again. And like you can just see the special traits that he has on display with his first step get off and things like that. So definitely glad that, we get to have Chop here. There's not a lot of positive takeaways to, look at this point in the season, but Chop is one that you're feeling very confident, I think, going into next season. He plays a very important position, off the edge, getting those sacks, creating pressures. It's, one of the premium things, so he's one that you can carry into the next year. There's only a handful of players that I feel that way about, in this game, specifically, Chop, Sealer, Campbell played very good. I actually thought I might do a video on, I'm going to do a video on the full defense tomorrow. I might do an individual on Cater Coe, because Coe probably had his best game in a while. Jordan Brooks continues to play pretty solid football. Like Brooks, Sealer, Chop, those guys are going to be ones that you're kind of looking at for next season to continue with. But Chop is one of the definitely biggest, building blocks, because you might have, you don't have to completely start over with this team. There's some foundation there. But Chop is one of those guys, you are really, trying to build this team almost around with, continue to add young, talented players. You need dogs added to this team. Chop plays like a dog. He plays with physicality, and he's athletic. I want to add athletic, physical playmakers that are also fairly smart. They don't have to be the, I don't need them to be the biggest guys. Chop isn't the biggest guy, but he plays, with a physical presence, which is much needed. This was the big sack right here, so we'll start breaking this down. Biggest sack of the game from Chop. Look at this first step quickness, man, off the ball. Absolutely ridiculous. He times his snap like crazy. Look, he's moving right at the snap. Perfectly timed snap. And when you have his explosiveness, that first step boom, and then he hits that boom, that he shows a little flash with that right hand, and then dips underneath, and then uses that dip to rip move. And then him and Sealer also meets at the quarterback. Watch this from the back angle here. Boom. He shows a little swipe right there. He looks like he might try to hit a little chop swipe, but Fisher is late with his hands. He tries to win with his hands, but then he dips underneath the hands, and look at this bend and balance that he's able to work through this rip. And then good job. He would have gotten a sack by himself too, but Sealer is also working up the middle on a stunt. Sealer was playing great throughout the game. Sealer and Chop are 2 guys for sure you feel comfortable going into next season with. That's kind of what you're looking at now. We're going to start looking at players on the team that you want to continue to build around and you want to keep. That's how you kind of evaluate. You evaluate inward first, and then you want to look at free agency, which guys you can add, and the draft, and we're going to start to go in that direction as the season ends. But really want to focus on guys like Chop, because, bro, that first step is insane. And this is the best get off I've seen him get. And it was a huge part of the game. This was right before the 2-minute warning. This was a 3rd and short, right before the 2-minute warning, to get the ball back for the Dolphins offense. Gave them a chance to, at least tie the game. Didn't work out, but Chop giving you those opportunities, winning some one-on-ones, and he was, getting double teamed for weeks. He had his one-on-ones here. I also think he did a good job in this game when he didn't win initially to the outside, because he got one-on-one with Blake Fisher a few times, who's another rookie right tackle for them. They switched around their offensive line. And right here, he doesn't win initially. We've seen him, win with dip and rip around the edge. Doesn't work here. But instead of going too far back for the QB, he's able to spin out of it. I think he did a good job of, here I think he gets a little too far past the QB, but he sticks with it, shows a motor, spins out, and then you see the speed, and then dive to trip up Stroud, gets another sack there. So not as clean of a sack, but, it doesn't come quickly. That's why I do think pressures are more important than sacks, or they're not more important. I think they're more telling of how well you played, because I think, his first sack is much more impressive than this sack, and then he has other pressures that are more impressive than this sack specifically. But it's still nice to see him hustle down, good coverage in the secondary. Nice to see when you can combine it and keep the quarterback within the pocket. Don't allow him to escape. Here he gets, this was an insane play. I gotta give credit to Stroud for this one, because this is a good play, because he's got one-on-one with a tight end. He's getting tight end and running back on him, so he's not getting an O-lineman. So he beats the tight end. Boom, hit Schultz with like the hump move, throw him back to the inside, work away. You attack hard to the outside to get the running back to commit, and once he does that, he works back to the inside. Don't work too far upfield, and then get back on Stroud. I don't know how Stroud was able to throw this and complete it. That was insane. This was another third down. But Chop, just doing constant work, playing with a very high motor. Love to see that. Not giving, anything up out there. Like, you want those types of players on your team. And I think that's what the Dolphins need. They need absolute dogs. That's what kind of needs to be added in. Obviously, just good football players. You kind of have to rebuild, I think, across the board. There's been positions that you've ignored. I think safety being one of them in recent times. Another off-ball linebacker, like the second one, has kind of been ignored. I think guard has been ignored. That's a huge position of need next year. I think the Y tight end has been ignored for a while. So I think, those positions need to be added, and you can add dogs at those positions. But here's like another example of Chop not initially winning to the outside. Once he works too far past the QB, sort of break it off. And I think this was a good adjustment for him because this is something I think he's struggled to do in the past. And he did it versus Stroud, who is very likely to escape the pocket. Like, he does it a lot if his first initial read's not there. So Chop able to still get like a pressure and like hit on the QB here, even though he doesn't win initially in his rep. Just staying, keeping the QB within the pocket, that type of thing. It's not like he won't win around the edge. Like here, he went around the edge. He's getting chipped by 33. Boom. So he's getting double team attention. Just another example of him kind of demanding that attention throughout the game. And look at him dip, rip, just forcing Stroud off his spot. And, Stroud maybe has to speed up his process a little bit here because he's like hitting his back foot. And I feel like he's just a little bit late. And I think Chop makes him speed up that process just enough where he misses. And the receiver's not able to hang on to a tougher catch there in that situation. And Chop was pretty constant. Like here, they only bring 3. And he has the running back to his side. And he's able to, swipe, rip underneath. He initially moves Stroud off his spot, which is always big. Like, especially when you're only bringing 3. Like, I think, he works too far past the QB here. And he, loses his balance, which is something he's definitely improved on as the season's gone on. But it's still, like, a part of his game I think he can get better at. But he's still able to initially move Stroud off his spot, which then forces him to throw down the field. It ended up being incomplete. Could have been a big play. But at least allows, for some uncomfortability to be created, some disruption. Because, sometimes it's the little things that matter the most. And Chop, you can see the power, man. Like, here they bring the blitz. He's in a wide 9 technique, hand of the dirt. Look when he works speed to power. Look at him give it a little hesitation right there. He gives a little bit of a foot fire, gives a little bit of like a shoulder shake up top, and then gets into the power. Look at the leverage, and look what he does. This is a quick throw to the tight end. This is a boom, hit your back foot, throw to your tight end, like 3-step, almost like just a 1-step drop. Ball's out quick, and Chop is still able to get a hit on the quarterback. That's how quickly he wins this rep. Like, look at the boom, speed to power, pushes back the offensive lineman, like, literally 2 yards, basically. Like, because he gets engaged here, he pushes him back, kind of cuts off from this angle, so it's tough to see. That's why I kind of showed the wide angle on this one, just because he creates such a knockback. Chop, I think, is going to be very special in this league. And one of the, Dolphins haven't had a first-round pick in a while, so hitting on Chop is huge. Hopefully you get Phillips back healthy next year, because if you do, you have a very good pass rushing duo. And if you have a good pass rushing duo, that can literally just transform your whole defense and makes a lot of lives easier. And it always gives you, I think, a chance defensively to make an impact play if you have 2 very good pass rushers. And that's why I think the Dolphins defense could have more success last year at times, is because they had, Chubb and Phillips and also Van Ginkel. So they had, at least 2 good edges on the field at all times. And then, your interior D-line's being disruptive. You're still going to have Sealer at least next year. So feels much better, at least if you can get those 2 back healthy. Want to add to the off-ball linebacker spot, you definitely want to upgrade safety, but yeah. So I'll get the full defensive film breakdown tomorrow. The offense was ugly. I posted that video earlier today if you guys haven't seen it yet. So definitely wasn't as fun film to watch. That's why I had to break down the Chop film, just because, get the rookie out there, and just wanted to watch something positive from the game, because it was tough to watch yesterday. But I mean, I guess I wasn't as sad as I've been before in the past. It was almost like, maybe I kind of expected it to happen. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.